Portable DACs are your tickets to enjoying studio quality high-res lossless music on your smartphones, especially if you recently became proud owners of beauties like these. A very trending category of portable DACs these days are Bluetooth DACs, which as the name implies connect wirelessly to your smartphones. And not only do you get proper high-res music output from these DACs, but because they come with internal batteries, they can be used as very good amplifiers to drive a wide range of in-ear monitors as well as headphones. Meet the BTE 8 from Timeear, a Bluetooth DAC and amp that comes in at a relatively affordable price of 6,500 Indian rupees or around $60 US. I have been using this DAC to listen to all of my music for the last couple of weeks or so, and to be very honest with you guys, as much as I really want to recommend this to you all, there are a certain number of things about the BTE 8 that are simply making me think otherwise. Let me explain. So this is the box that the Timeear BTE 8 comes in. Pretty straightforward stuff right here, highlighting all the features and the color options, although some of them are totally incorrect. You'll find out why I say so as we move along in this video. And the unboxing is probably the most bare bones experience that I've ever had. You just get the DAC itself and nothing else. No cables, no manuals, nada. So without a proper guide or manual, I had to rely on my personal instincts to find out how to operate this DAC. It kind of reminded me of the good old days when I learned how to operate an iPod Shuffle that cost me a whopping 250 rupees. Anyways, so let me give you guys a physical overview of this DAC. This right here is the front of this DAC with a very prominent NFC logo because the BTE 8 does support quick tap to connect via Bluetooth, which surprisingly is quite seamless. Now at the top you get a standard 3.5mm unbalanced headphone jack along with a 4.4mm balanced jack, both of which are gold plated. And at the bottom is a Type-C port for charging the DAC or connecting it directly to your smartphones. Now to the left, you'll find 3 control buttons, the top and bottom being for volume controls, while the middle one is the main controller. Long press this to turn on the DAC, and then you can use this button to play or pause the music, take or end calls, or trigger your voice assistant. And finally, coming over to the right side, here is where you'll find a microphone for calls along with a gain switch. So like I mentioned earlier, the BTE 8 connects to your smartphones using Bluetooth, and if you have an Android smartphone, you'll be able to get a wide range of codecs available to you, including high-res codecs like LDAC, LHDC and aptX HD. But if you're using an iPhone, you'll only be limited to AAC. So you'll obviously get a much higher quality output in Android in comparison to iOS, thanks to the availability of the high-res codecs that I just mentioned. But things become pretty consistent when you connect the BTE 8 using a Type-C cable. In that scenario, both Android and iOS will let you listen to lossless music perfectly fine. Alright, so now let's talk about the most important thing, the audio quality. Now in general, the BTE 8 does a pretty good job of rendering the details in the music that we listen to. You're getting dual CS43131 DAC chips with the BTE 8 that helps in getting a good signal to noise ratio, and it also has the support for audio tracks up to 32-bit 384 kHz PCM as well as DST-256. Now that basically translates to a very good audio experience with the BTE 8, and here I have to mention that you also get 3 to 4 onboard equalizers to further tune your music. You double press the volume up button to cycle through the different equalizers, but sadly there is no way to identify which EQ you're currently using. There's no indication anywhere. And this is where I felt the necessity of a companion app with the BTE 8. It could have helped in getting a visual representation of what you're actually doing to your music, maybe give us an idea of the bitrate as well of the current track that we are playing, and the most important thing would be to keep an eye on the battery life. Or maybe they could have added a small screen to show us everything that I just mentioned rather than wasting the entire real estate with a freaking NFC icon. And since you do not get any kind of app support with this DAC, the OTA update feature that is mentioned right here is undoubtedly non-existent. Speaking of more things being mentioned, let's talk about the battery life. It says in the box that you get around 12.5 hours of battery life, but as per my testing with the gain switch turned off, you'll get around 7 hours of battery life with the BTE 8, and it reduces to around 4 to 5 hours if you have the onboard gain switch turned on. Alright, now let's talk about a couple of things that I personally liked in the BTE 8. The first one is definitely the presence of an onboard microphone. It's very convenient for IEMs and headphones that do not have an inline microphone in their cables, and it definitely helps during phone calls. Here's a quick mic test for you guys. So this is how I would sound to you guys if I were on a call and speaking over the microphone in the Timeear BTE 8. Doesn't this look like a tiny walkie-talkie? Anyways, so this is the microphone that is picking up my voice right now on the top, and there's also one right here at the side. So this should do a pretty good job of noise rejection, but I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments down below. So the mic sounds good, isn't it? But I have to mention here that even though Timeear says it has some kind of a noise cancellation feature during calls, it is nowhere close to earbuds having actual noise cancellation. So take it with a grain of salt because I actually didn't feel any kind of real world difference. So to summarize my thoughts on the Timeear BTE 8, let me try to put it this way. For a Bluetooth DAC that costs around $60, it lacks refinement. It lacks proper app support. It doesn't even come with a manual or even proper accessories as a matter of fact. And I couldn't find any real world support of the DAC and even the brand as a matter of fact anywhere on the internet. So do I recommend this DAC? Probably if you know what you're getting into, but I would personally recommend you guys to spend a bit more and invest in a proper Bluetooth DAC like the FiiO BTR15. It's such a gem of a DAC and I think it will definitely serve you much better. So that is pretty much it for this video and I hope I was able to provide some value to you guys today. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more such videos like this and I'll see you guys in my next one.